Okay, in this part of the lecture, I'm going to show you how we can add like very realistic, soft-looking kind of reflections to the whole object. Now, what's often happening with glasses if you are cleaning them with a washing machine, they tend to leave some kind of some oily or rainbow kind of waste on the glass. So this is the effect we're going to emulate over here. So the images that we're gonna need for that are two with masks 2, which is going to provide us with a set of masks that we're gonna use, and we have like over here this layer with transparency. So if we use both of these, we're gonna see all the things that we need. Now again, we can see over here in this layer with like multiple elements, and I'm gonna check again and copy each one of those channel splitters. Green, red and blue. Now again, what we have over here in the mask is if I unpre-multiply, I forgot to add only the glasses in there. Perhaps I should have done that. So here now with a shape which is unnecessarily there. But again, as before, we can still fix that problem, and we can use all kind of color correction techniques. So in this case we don't need to invert, but the only thing that we need to do is to make sure that we have like a divide. So I'm going to use this divide over here, and the clump color, so the mask of these two elements, is a mask that we're going to use in order to unpre-multiply each one of those elements. Now perhaps instead of using each one of those elements, it might be better to do it immediately on the whole of it. So let me do multiplication or division. Oops, I do already have that one over here. Let's do the division right here, and now we see that's being completed on all of the layers at the same time, and so we can reconnect them just right here, which is going to make it a bit easier. Now the reflection, just one thing that I think I forgot. Let me just delete this one and import it again, because if I look at the reflection, I don't see I do see a difference over here with like more data going on. So I'm going to import all channels over here, which is going to give us some different kind of images. Okay, so let's see what we have in here. And it's the incidence layer, and that's the one that I need. Now I told you how you can change this using channels, but you can do this also directly on the input node. So the output is now the alpha channel. I'm going to change this into the RGB channel, and for each one of the channels we're going to set it to incidence. So like that we have 2 times the color values. Let's check what we have over here. And this is a leftover, something we don't need. So I don't need to use that extra node. I'm gonna leave it just that, only using that layer. Okay, so now I do have the materials that I need. Is there something else with reflection before I can continue? Yes, there is. Again, we need to do something with the masking over here. Now in order to access it more easily, I'm going to add just a small utility, which is a pass-through. So a pass-through is actually a node that doesn't do anything. It just allows you to have things passing through. And so we have this mask passing through. So right now what I can do quite easily is, again, with using a composition, a math operation, I'm going to use this mask in combination with the reflection image, so that we have only the glasses left. So the operation that you can use, you can try to figure it out already, but it's like always a multiply. So now we do have only the glasses there. Perhaps I can unpre-multiply now the whole thing, so again that we have like the ability to have proper coloring. Like this. So now we can nicely combine it with everything that we see over here. Right here we're going to do exactly the same as we did in the previous lecture with the metals. So we're going to make sure that we have like this oily kind of layer, and for this I used a combination of flame textures, or fire textures, and just put them over the glass so that we have like this nice looking turbulence. So go to the color correction, and in the color correction I have right here the remapping color. And again, for this remapping color, like we've done in the previous lecture, I have over here a preset, Rainbow 2. Now also something we saw in the previous lecture of the metals is that we're going to combine this with this fall off. And so composition, I'm using a mount operator, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fall off together with what we have over here. And let's see what the result is going to be like. So we have like more or less this fall off. Now of course we see this strange coloring. That again has to do because we need to unpre-multiply the whole thing that we see over here. So these two operations we can combine in order to do something similar, in which we first see only this part and then an unpre-multiplication of what we see over there. Perhaps I should do that immediately from the beginning, which would be better. So let's go over here to the image import and unpre-multiply. I guess in order to be able to do that, I need to have the alpha right over here, RGB A, like this. So let's see, if we go to image import now we can unpre-multiply, and we see indeed everything's being removed over here. And then at the end we can use it in a combination over here. Like this. Okay. So hang on, I can just remove the old ones over here because we get like the proper result to combine. So in terms of color correction, use again the color correction basics in order to play around with the gamma so that we can push this a little bit more to the side. This effect, or if we don't want to have that we can lower the gain value perhaps a bit, so that the deformation is not that high. If you check this in animation, we see again gradually how tones are changing depending on the rotation of the whole thing. And so this is exactly the kind of effect that we want to achieve. Okay, so we have this together with the reflection, and if we're gonna check over here how are we going to combine this, is we need to try and make sure that it's not being divided, but perhaps multiply it a little bit, so that over here we see like this coloring in the reflection. Now another thing that we can do as well is to make sure that we have the proper coloring, scaling, etc., because right now it's like really too saturated, so we're gonna change this as well using color correction. I'm choosing now to use a color histogram for that, because what I'm thinking of doing is like making the darker parts just a little bit brighter. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, so something like this. So if we check this with the matte operators, then at the same time we're making it less saturated, and also we're making sure we have like more of the reflection going on there. So these are a few things already that we can start to do. On the other hand, what we can also do in preparation to this is combine the reflection already with what we have over here. So again, I'm gonna make a color correction on the fall off, and then we're gonna multiply this together, compositing mount operations, and we're not going to add, but we're going to multiply the whole thing. And so over here, cities to 1, cities to 1, just change it a little bit, perhaps have a slight offset, so that we do have some reflection at the middle. Lower it a little bit, and so now we do have like some reflection on the front, but way more reflections to the side. And so now it's a combination of those things that we have also like this soft reflection together with the colors, the oily kind of colors. And there's something else we can use as well. We've over here like this drops, and we have this layer of parts which are more or less reflective. So let me put this or arrange this a little bit to the side. I think I'm gonna make a combination of those two of them. So we have like these dried up drops, leftovers from cleaning the glass, and these are just like a little bit structurally baked in from using the washing machine. So let's see whether we can combine them in a meaningful way. So the thing that we want to make sure of is that the oil kind of reflection is not going to show up on the parts on which we have like the drops, and it's not going to show up in this kind of cutout parts. So if we take like the minimum value, something like this, that might be reasonable or might be a good tactic to use. Now I'm going to color correct again a few of these elements, what we see over here, so that we get like a decent combination. Using again a histogram makes it just easy to use. And in this histogram I'm going to add just a little bit more contrast, so that we have something like this. We still do see a little bit of the structure over here, but not completely. And then with the drops, we can leave those drops as they just are, or yeah, I'm gonna make it just a little bit sharper as well, so it's a bit cleaner, but on the other hand it's gonna be also a little bit lighter, on the inside, so not completely blocking everything. So we can use it like this. So this type of mask we're gonna use in order to control how much of the reflection that we're going to see. And so we're gonna combine this layer together with this one. So if you use a mod operation, and we're going to combine this, get us something like the following. And now we do have like quite nice reflection results. Now I'm going to add a little bit of brightness just to check it out. We can fix it always later, so there's never an issue or never a problem with it, but like this we can clearly see the effect, what we're aiming at. So dropping this back, making this much lower again, so we get to our original versions. And the result that we get over here, after cleaning up everything, is the one that we're gonna use in order to combine. So again, we're going to use these masks to just get the elements that we need. So this would make a clean mask, and then we're going to add it on top. This one over here, and this one I'm just going to kiss with the shift over here, up. Like that, and not using multiply, but just a simple add. And now we do have a little bit of that special type of reflection. Like I said, we're still going to fine-tune this and tweak this till we get exactly the results that we want to have. Okay, and so this concludes it for adding the reflections.